All right, night number 3 here at the beach in Miami, Homestead, Miami Speedway, and we're going to crown ourselves an Xfinity Series champion here tonight. I'm Greg Olenek, joined one more time by Curtis Wadsworth here this season. Curtis, welcome. Kind of bittersweet, man. We were just talking before we came on here. The last race of the season, going to wrap up season 3 here with a champion. It's going to be a hard-fought championship, though.
Yeah, Greg, this is going to be an interesting night. Glad to be here in Miami and try to get this championship capped off. The 5 drivers racing, it's super close. All 5 have been super competitive all season long, and one race is going to settle it between these 5 guys. And there's still some guys that did not make that 5 that I think could still, come out and take a win. There's guys that did not make the chase that are in that bottom top tier or second tier playoff run that could easily come out here and get a win too. So I think it's going to be every man for themselves, every last point that they could possibly grab all night, because even if you do finish in front of the person that you're racing against, if they went out and got a lead lap or led most laps or had a clean race, there's bonus points out there that could definitely swing this thing.
Absolutely. So, I've seen a lot of nerves out of some of the drivers early on in these first 2 races. We've had a little bit of cautions here and there, but overall, relatively green races, and have had 2 champions crowned so far. Timothy Latham crowned the champion in the Cup Series after winning on Tuesday. And then, I'm totally drawing a blank. Michael Madden. I just had a total brain fart right there. Michael Madden was crowned the champion last night. I got thrown off because Ryan Johnson was the winner. Michael Madden crowned the champion last night in the Truck Series. Going to have 1 crowned here tonight. 5 drivers going for it. Let's waste no more time and get to those 5 drivers. These are the 5 guys that are going to be competing for it here tonight. Seth Berger leading them overall in the points. Then you got Seth Reed there, Michael Larch, Jacob Manning, and Kyle Benson squeaking in by 3 points. But 5 very solid drivers with 5 very solid stat lines. And don't be underwhelmed by Michael Larch's. He's had a very good playoffs through this point.
Yeah, he pointed everybody to death to get into this top 5. There's guys that did not make the top 5 that we expected or pretty much were thinking that they would be locked in here, and Benson and Large got their way in. Large pointed his way in here, and I've seen it done many times in other leagues. You don't have to win. You just have to be in the top 5 consistently, and he got the 3 top 5s before. He's got the average finish, and he did really well in this chase to put himself here. So not taking anything away from any of these guys, even Large there with 0 wins. They all earned the spot by being consistent, and that's the name of the game. So we'll see who can be consistent tonight and grab some extra bonus points and come away with this championship.
Yeah, and you got Seth Reed sitting there with the most wins on the season here in the Xfinity Series. Came into this season with 0, kicked it off with the win at Daytona, and has just kept up the pace at every race. An average finish of 8.06 there, 11 top 5s, but then Seth Berger not very far off too. Only 2 wins, but 12 top 5s is very impressive. Not far off of Seth Reed's average finish there of an 8.89 average. But Jacob Manning with the best average finish overall. I think we should watch out for him tonight.
Yeah, Manning, he's been super consistent, being every single week he's right around that top 5. 7.8 finish or 7.89 finish. That's really, really good for an entire season to make it through and still be in the top 10. Same with Reed and Berger. Both of them also in a top 10 finish average throughout the entire season. Reed with those 4 wins, like you said, all 3 of them in the double digits for top 5. So that just tells you right there their consistency of finishing up there. But the surprise to me is that Benson's got more wins than Manning, who was the regular season champion. So wins don't necessarily mean everything, but it'll mean something tonight if you go out and grab those extra points.
Extra points, I learned on Tuesday, don't matter. It's just highest finisher overall. Yeah, right. That's what I've made the same mistake.
I thought it was
corrected.
points.
Nope. So keep an eye out. It's going to be whoever is the highest finisher this season. You're exactly right. Kyle Benson with the 3 wins could very well score himself a win here tonight. He's told me early on that he has a good long run car, so if this thing stays green, watch out for that 10 machine, who's kind of like a roller coaster who goes through a few bad streaks and then really rips off a lot of good finishes. So see if he can finish off the season strong for Murray Reedy Motorsports.
I'm going to have to talk to Berger, too, about his modeling pick that he sent in for this.
It's beautiful, right? Yeah, it's right out in front, too. Right where
Benson's
he wants
got the thumbs up. Berger's got the long hair. Reed's got the beard.
Well, I told Benson I would update his picture. He sent me one back in April, and I was just too lazy to fix it. But I love that picture with the thumbs up. So here's a look at the Tier 2 championship really quick. All but wrapped up for Drew Ballesteros. I don't even think it's possible for Brandon Domain with a win and all the points for him to catch him with the low car count here tonight. So the battle here for these 11 guys is from second on back. All these guys within striking distance, and it's been fun to watch this one as well.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. These guys, there's guys in here who could definitely steal a win. Drew Ballesteros, I've been saying for weeks that he could be, somebody to come in and spoil and take a win away. When obviously before you just informed me about the point system not counting, I was thinking, he could be somebody to come in here and steal, the lap lead, the bonus points, the win points, all of that away from a championship driver in the top 5. But if it don't matter, then I guess it really doesn't matter where anybody finishes here except for those 5. But Drew's, he's got a 34-point lead. He's pretty good as long as he doesn't have a terrible night, I would think. But Brandon Domain, he's done everything possible to stay in that second position. Same with Bo Tiffany, Aaron Gerwitz. Gerwitz probably would be a little higher if he didn't have that issue, was it 2 weeks ago, where he just parked on pit road backwards for like half of a race. So he could probably be a little closer.
It didn't. Oh. It wasn't showing that on his screen. But let me clarify. The bonus points don't matter towards the individual championship. They will matter towards Tier 2 and team championship points. So it's just the highest finishing driver when it comes to the individual championship. So it's going to matter when it comes to this right here, the Fast Four matchup. Let's go ahead, take a quick look, a recap of how those finished up. Tank Racing defeating JBR 327 to 261. Hard to keep up with Tank Racing when they're averaging 109 points in the second round.
Yeah, it's that Tank Racing is the one that I thought would be really hard to beat, especially with Berger and Kazi. But 2 weeks in a row, Kazi's had really bad races, so we'll see. I guess what happens tonight between them, but I think Tank's, it's going to be tough. But JW Racing, they've had, what was it, like 3 guys in the top 7 last week, 4 guys in the top 12 or something. So if they do that again, that's a tough one.
We'll keep an eye on that top number there. There's 327 scored in the last round for Tank, 332 scored through 3 races for JW Racing. So the averages are not far off. And Curtis, I'm not sure if you're familiar or not with last season, but these two teams tied in this championship race. So could it happen again in the Xfinity Series? Could JW Racing and Tank Racing tie it up, or will they settle it here in Season 3? Only one way to find out, and that is to kick it off here just under 1 minute to go when qualifying. So let's go ahead, check out the Butt Kicker Hard Charger standings while we're at it. These guys are going to be racing for this Butt Kicker Hard Charger here, or excuse me, Butt Kicker Gamer 2. And I think this one all but wrapped up going to Kyle Spees out of Bobby Anderson Racing. So nice piece of equipment here.
Yeah, and he's not here again tonight, so he knew he locked it up a few weeks ago.
It's already been shipped.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, he knew he had it a few weeks ago, and he hasn't been attending because he knew he had already won it. But I would have loved to see Kyle come out and race a couple more races, and I think he was a contender to steal a win away from one of these guys, even if he didn't move on in the playoffs. But, yeah, congratulations to Kyle. He definitely earned it, starting in the back almost every single race and jumping all the way up into the top 10 and things like that every race. So, average is showing it.
Yeah, enjoy it, Kyle. You earned it. Well deserved. So let's go ahead and inform you guys on what these guys in this top 8 are racing for here tonight, because it's not just the top 5. The 6th through 8th finishing positions will be earning some cash too. The champion going to come away with $500. Second place is going to get $300. Third in the championship standings going to get $180. Fourth place going to put $120 in their wallet. And fifth place guaranteeing you at least $80 there if you are in this final 5. 6th place going to get 60, 7th coming away with 40, and 8th place going to come away with $20. So a lot to race for a lot of guys here tonight. So let's waste no more time and get on out here to the track here at Homestead Miami Speedway, a fitting venue for a championship.
Yeah, it's a beautiful track. I like this track and the way that it drives. You can drive that bottom line if you really want to. You can drive the top line at the top of the wall. So I think this is a perfect track for the championship race, and I kind of wish they'd go back to it.
I do too. So Tristan Bailey going to be on the pole here tonight after a terrible second round that finds him eliminated after coming into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. He's going to try and finish off strong here in that 88 machine. Matthew Robinson outside pole there in the 51, just 300ths off of Tristan's pace. Michael Larch, Drew Ballesteros in row number 2, and then Kyle Benson and Jacob Manning in row 3.
Yep, and we got Seth Reed starting in 7th. 8th is Seth Berger. So there's most of your, or that's all of your top 5 for going off for the championship right there in the top 7. So this is going to get really interesting right off the bat here. And then you're going to have Zach Dutra 9th, Mike Lepicki 10th, Nathan De La Rosa 11th, Bo Tiffany 12th. And I can't see the rest of them.
Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and advance that for you falling asleep there.
Joseph Akazi and Tank Racing. So there's another driver that's going to be pushing for his team here. Sitting 13th, Chris Bishop 14th, Nathan Sylvia 15th, Aaron Gerwitz 16th, Brandon Domain 17th, and Max Service 18th for Tank Racing as well.
Yeah, there's a look. Danny Dow, Daniel Keith, Tyler Murray, Travis Anderson, and Logan Truitt here going to round out the rest of our field. So pace car lights are off. Let's go ahead and pick our championship winners. I know you don't like to do it, Curtis, but I'm going to ask you who you got.
I'm going I'm going with Manning. I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but I think he's done enough, and he's been there, and he's super fast every week. So I really think he's going to take it, but any one of the 5, really.
Absolutely. I'm taking Seth Reed as we see that Silverback Tag Solutions green flag waving here in Homestead, Miami, kicking off the last race of the season, 110 laps under the sun.
Yeah, and these guys got off really good. Bailey got down through turn 1 and 2 and looks really good down the backstretch out in front of the rest of the field. 3 wide going down the backstretch on some of these rows here.
Yeah, great racing here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Almost
3 wide for second and third.
Pack racing. That's 2nd through 7th right there, all within tight quarters, and that has got to be nerve-wracking if you're one of these final 5 drivers. Tristan Bailey not worried about it. He's just trying to win this thing and get that 6th place payout. But right now, a battle for the lead in the championship. Kyle Benson, Michael Larch really close side by side off the 2.
Yeah, Benson, you talked about it earlier. He said he had a long run car, but he's looking really good on the short run right now, battling with Larch, and he's going to probably take this position if he slides up in front of him here. But then you got Robinson. I mean, look at all the look at all the JW cars. You got Larch, Ballesteros, Robinson, Manning, all in the top 6. That's a lot of teamwork right there going against Tank Racing, who's only got Berger in the top 9. It looks like.
And speaking of teammates, too, Murray Reedy Motorsports cars out in front of this thing as Tristan Bailey gets out to the lead. But Kyle Benson running him down here early on was, like I said, talking to Benson. He didn't seem very optimistic about coming to Homestead, but after practice, feeling a little more confident after I talked to him before this broadcast and showing it out there on the track right now, P number 2, and trying to run his MRMS teammate Tristan Bailey down for the lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is any kind of team orders or anything like that. If it comes down to the end here, and maybe Benson's 3rd and Bailey's 2nd, without any of the other playoff drivers in front of him, does he let him go or anything like that to get away from any other playoff drivers? I think teamwork could definitely be essential tonight, but they want to go out there individually and clinch their spots as well, as Bailey's looking for that 6th spot. I don't know. I don't know if you give up a teammate spot for the championship or not.
I don't think you do. I think Tristan's going to race him hard but clean here. We've got some passing going on back here. This is Seth Berger and Seth Reed side by side. 2 more Championship 5 drivers here to keep our eye on. These two usually take it easy early on in the run and come on late because we have a fair amount of green flag runs here in the Xfinity series, and kicking off to a good start here. These cars separating pretty well and single filing out here on lap number 6.
Yeah, and I'm noticing Seth's car is looking a little different this week. He's got the red thrown in there, so I was wondering if my trading paints was working correctly, but
oh man, I've been wondering that all night. It's been going crazy.
Yeah,
I got the same thing.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks really cool. He's got a different look on here, and that car has looked good all season long. Up towards the front, has had a lot of support in the chat.
Got some chrome work in there.
Yeah, missed out on the championship on Tuesday though. That one going to Timothy Latham. Ran good in his 24 machine for Tank Racing, but he's going to be looking to come away with one of them. So I'm looking to see Seth and see how hungry he is for this lead here tonight.
Yeah, and Seth, we've talked about him multiple times throughout the playoffs. He's a driver that sits back, he conserves tires, he usually comes on very, very strong late in a run. Reed, we've talked to several times the last couple weeks, and you know, we were kind of talking about him prior to that as a guy who kind of went out there as hard as he could, and then Berger would come from behind and pass him. And he's kind of changed up his strategy the last couple weeks, and he's been conserving more than he used to, and he's obviously winning. So obviously has changed around his strategy, and it's beneficial for him.
So you see your race admins, Derek Da Silva, Sean Griffith, and Jason Tripp, and just giving those guys a shout out. Not an easy job by any means, so thanks to them as always, and hope to see all of them coming back. Well, I know Tripp and Sean will be coming back for season 4, but I hope to see everybody else that served as an admin coming back next season. Their work is greatly appreciated. So, yeah, it looked like we were going to have a battle there for this championship lead, which is the second place position on the track there for a second, but looking like we're seeing a different 50 machine too, because I feel like we usually see Jacob try and get that car out to the lead, but he's been kind of a different Jacob here lately. He won the last race, showed a lot of patience, and won it by a fair amount too.
Well, I mean, we're 9 laps into the race, so the tires are getting some heat in them for sure. Manning's up 3 positions, so he's definitely making his way through. He's got Benson in his sights, obviously. He's still got Tristan out there. He's not that far in front of these guys, so they're still within the draft, but they are breaking away a little bit from Michael Larch back there in 4th. He slipped off just a little bit, but he's got Ballesteros and Robinson. That's 4 JW Racing cars in a row right there from 3rd back to 6th, so that's a pretty good sign for JW Racing tonight for their team battle here with Tank Racing. But Manning's going to look low on Benson.
Yeah, side-by-side battle for this championship lead. Manning opted to take the inside lane, really wrapping that white line well, but the 10 machine of Benson going to get a big head of steam down the front straightaway and take that spot.
It takes so much speed away from you if you go that inside line like that. If you dive it in there and there's a car to your outside and you've got to really get it down to the bottom. I mean, he wrapped it really well, but you could tell his car woed up a lot as he went through the middle of that turn, and he could not get the gas pedal down without, you know, he would have had an issue if he would have. So he let off and timed it and came out, and Benson carrying that momentum through the second and third groove. It definitely showed that middle line is where you're going to wind up being later on in the run. So I like that Benson moved up and he didn't, you know, try to go down to the bottom or even try to let Manning go. He's battling now for the championship. We're only 12 laps in, and he's already trying to show that, you know, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm not giving up positions even though it's early in the race.
I think Benson won the battle, but hasn't won the war just yet, because I think that inside lane is going to be where you're trying to make these passes. When you use that high line and wrap it the way you do to get the speed off, you're really cooking those tires because you're getting every bit of gas you can. Jacob taking it easy there on the inside lane might pay off in the long run if they keep battling that way, but looked like they were playing opposites there. Jacob went high that time, ran the middle lane, and is just trying to find a place where he might be able to pass him. Knows it's not a rush, though. He's still hanging in here with this 10, but looks like he wants to get that clean air on the nose of that 50.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we don't see anybody trying to run the normal Miami style of driving. I mean, you can see the scrapage up there against the wall. There's a reason it's there, and that's because everybody usually runs that high line in real life at Miami. Rim riding is with Noah Gregson and Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, a few of those guys always sit right there inches from the wall. And for some reason on iRacing, we can't do that because it shreds off the tires too much. But I really think that middle line is where you're going to see guys be able to make runs late in the run here to be able to get by guys. I know they're going to be trying to use that bottom line and dive in and try to slide in front of them. But if you can time it right and you can get onto the gas in the appropriate time here, you can really carry a lot of speed through there in the second groove and third groove.
Yeah, very wide track that promotes a lot of really fun racing. It's a fan favorite for a few as we got a battle back here. Seth Reed making the pass on the 51 of Matthew Robinson. That puts the 81 up to 6th after being in 9th place not too long ago. Wow, Benson gets loose right there and saves it.
Whew. That definitely saves his night because that could have really been bad if he'd have went around.
Yeah, so let's see if he can rally back up there. He fell back to 10th place with Mike Lepicki just behind him, so he's going to be looking to frantically make up all those positions that he just lost. But that puts Jacob Manning now in control of this championship in P number 2. Seth Reed up to 4th now. He's coming up here in a hurry.
Well, I know we weren't on Manning and Benson at that moment, but I'm trying to go back to see if there was any kind of an issue. I think Benson just got loose, but Manning and him were real close to each other side by side a few times, and Manning was trying to swap from inside line to outside line to get around him, so I don't know if maybe we weren't on it, so we'll see if
replay. It looks
it
like
happened
Benson,
here.
yeah.
I think he got a
little help from the 50 there, so
I was going to say, I don't think Benson got loose, but Manning went in there a little harder and gave him a little tap.
Either way, the race stays green. Had Kyle Benson gone around, that would have given Jacob Manning the EOL more than likely, but no harm, no foul. Benson's going to have to get those spots back up to 9th after getting past Deutscher not too long ago, but the 50 out in front now, running down the 88 of Tristan Bailey for the race lead, too.
Ooh, there's the caution. 16, 89, all involved on the coming out of turn 3, or going into turn 3. That's Tyler Murray and the 89 of Max Service.
So let's cue up a Sparkle and Shine, a mobile detail and rec replay, and figure out what happened here. There's Max Service and Tyler Murray next to each other. That's the 66 of De La Rosa. Slow on the outside there. Not sure if the 16 just had nowhere to go or what, but taking a look at that, a little bit closer look.
I'm trying to figure out what happened to the 66. It was like he just
to the wall or something. Just looked like the 16 made an aggressive move there that kind of got him loose on the straightaway almost. A weird sequence of events there. So, yeah, let's go up a little bit closer to De La Rosa. Rewind it back a little bit to figure out what happened to him. Looks like he just got loose off of 2.
Yeah, he was wiggling before he even went up the track.
Holds his line, though, and Murray just gets loose and gets into him, as well as Max Service, one of those tank racing drivers vying for a team championship here tonight. So that's a storyline to keep our eye on. Max has not had any luck here of late. He's staying out there, luck probably to get a bonus point, but I think he's going to need to come down and get some damage fixed on that 89.
And I know the admins put it on the 16. That's a tough call in my opinion because the 66 obviously hit the wall, was super slow in front of them. They were coming off the corner there as they went through the middle of the backstretch when he touched the wall and slowed up. The 16, you could tell he tried to make an evasive move that you go to the inside and it just snapped loose on him and put him right back up into the 66. So I get where they went or why they went that way, but I don't know. That's a tough one because if 66 hadn't hit the wall and been half speed, the 66 would have never made that evasive maneuver.
Well, we're going to step aside, run a quick commercial break for our first caution of the night here. Come right back with that Silverback Tax Solutions green flag. Don't go anywhere. Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you. All right, thanks for staying with us here on Speed Racing Network. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you know exactly when we go live next season. It's looking like it's going to be around the first week of October. You have to stay tuned. We are going to have the reveal of the Xfinity Series schedule in just a little bit, but don't want to take our eyes off this action because it's about to pick up again as we're going to see that pace car go on down pit road, and that Silverback Tax Solutions green flag is going to be waving once again here in Miami.
Hey, Greg, back underway here. Tristan Bailey getting a great jump off that restart and jumps right back out in front of everybody. Manning and Reed, these two are very familiar with each other, with also Berger right there in the mix as well. So 3 more guys up towards the front battling it out for second, third, and fourth. Manning didn't get a great jump on that one. I was kind of surprised. Reed definitely followed Bailey out of that chute, and he looks really good coming up on the back of Manning now. He's driving it a little differently. You can watch as they go into the corner. Reed obviously pulls right up on Manning's rear end because Manning is slower entering the corner. So I'm wondering if Manning is letting off a little bit earlier than Reed, and Reed's diving it in there a little harder. That can play factors into the tires. Late in a run, this could get really tricky for the 81 if he is diving it in there a little harder than the 50.
Well, looking like he's not going to push the case too hard, only on lap number 23 after getting this thing kicked back off not too long ago. Side-by-side battles further on back. That's Joseph Causey going on by Drew Ballesteros, our Tier 2 leader. Michael Larch just behind them in the 8th position, with Kyle Benson rounding out the championship drivers there in 9th. So Benson still looking to make up some spots after that little bit of a tap from Jacob Manning earlier on in this thing, and I wonder if there'll be any payback from that.
I was just thinking the same thing. If Benson gets back to Manning, I think we need a spotlight shot on those two specifically to see if Benson says, well, you know what, this is the championship race. You dove it in on me, gave me the bump, and almost sent me around, drops positions, all that kind of stuff. I'm not giving you any room, and I might just give you a love tap right back and see if you can hold on to it like I did.
We'll find out, because I think that 10 is going to make his way back up. Like I said, told me he was confident, but man, look how close these two are. The 81 right on the bumper here of the 50. Battle for the lead here as we take lap 25.
Yeah, you said Reed wasn't going to push the issue because we were only 24 laps in. A lap later, and he's pushing the issue. Bailey, well, that's
real close. The joke all week, Curtis, is that Uncle Netcode's been on vacation here in Miami, so he's not here, and that's been the case all week. Really close racing, just like that, and no punishments for it, like we usually see.
Now, I mean, that's the kind of racing I love to see, though. You know, when
Absolutely.
we get that infamous netcode issue, and it pops up and you're 6 feet from the guy and it throws the car sideways, that's when it kind of sucks, because you're like, I really can't even get next to a car without having an issue. So when you can get that close and you can barely slide a piece of paper between the two cars and it's not touching, that's a good sign for iRacing, and I love to see that, especially with more and more leagues getting bigger and bigger, and the bigger things happening all around for iRacing and leagues out there. It provides really, really good close competition racing that everybody loves to watch. Reed looks really impatient.
Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing right now, because it's a great battle for this championship lead. I mean, the last two of the week are kind of won with no contest almost. Great wins by Madden and Latham. But right now, these two are battling it out up front, and Seth Berger not letting them get away at all. He's just waiting here patiently. I think it's going to pay most dividends to 77.
Oh yeah, and I mean he's a master at figuring out to sit back and save. And when these two get side by side, he's not trying to go up here and make it 3 wide. He's not trying to go up here and push one of them past the other. He's letting them run side by side, letting them work off the rubber on their tires while he's sitting back here just conserving. And once they're done battling it, as we see Reed ducking behind Manning, and it looks like he's going to try to go again, Berger's probably going to take both of them, I would assume. So I would definitely keep an eye on that 77. This 88, though, is looking really good, and I know he's probably a little angry and a little bitter about the way that the last round went for him in the car, with 2 of those races not being very good for him and then having a really good run last week. He's probably really coming out here trying to steal this win and take it and say, I should have been there.
Yeah, you can't beat yourself up. Luckily, with racing, there's always another season, and Tristan Bailey will definitely be back to compete for a championship. Makes you want it even more when you miss out. You see the 3 win stickers there. He's trying to make it 4 and tie Seth Reed for the most this season in the Xfinity Series. But yeah, it's kind of puts a damper on the last race when you're having a dominating performance like this 88, but all eyes are on that championship battle just behind you.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to take anything away from the 88, because he's putting on a great race so far. 30 laps into this, and he's led every lap so far. Nobody's really been that close to him. I mean, technically he's not that far off of him, but that's about as close as they've been since the drop of the green flag. So I really think the 88 is dialed in tonight. He's looking just really, really good. And if Murray Reedy would have made it past the last round versus JW Racing, I think they would have been looking at a great competition against Tank Racing as well.
Well, I think it's a great competition between JW and Tank because it's starting to get a little bit closer. You got Jacob Manning there in second position for JW, Matthew Robinson in 5th, and Drew Ballesteros in 7th. Those are your top 3 running JW drivers. And then you got Seth Berger there in 4th for Tank, Joseph Causey there in 6th place, Mike Lepicki down there in 11th. So they're going to try and get one of their Tank Racing drivers up there. That hit for Max Service is going to be a big hit for Tank Racing.
Yeah, and Larch is right there too, so that's another top 10 driver.
Yeah, so they don't even need they got all 4 of their drivers.
Where they're at.
Yeah, because James Shamewolf hasn't shown up for a few weeks now, so it's just been 4 of these JW guys. But man, they have been kicking on all cylinders here. Michael Larch currently MP number 8, still one of our final 5 playoff drivers here. Just been deadly consistent all season long, hanging out here in the top 10 as usual.
And we've got 2 JW Racing guys racing for the championship. We've got Murray Reedy driver going for the championship. You've got Tank Racing going for the championship, and then you've got Reed out there. Can't remember the team name for him, but you've got Highline. So you got 4 different teams going for the championship between the 5 drivers.
Yep. And we got a battle here for the 4th running driver in those standings, and looking like Kyle Benson wants to take it away from Michael Larch, trying to make him earn it there on the high line. The 10's going to take it from the 52, so move Benson up to P number 8 now.
And I like how Benson just made that pass on the outside too. That's what I was talking about before. Is every time I've raced Miami, I usually try to stay up in that 2nd and 3rd groove, and I know it, they continuously to update and everything like that when they go to tracks, and it's hard to keep up with it sometimes. But almost every time I've run Xfinity here at Homestead, I've run that middle line. Usually, get as close as you can to the wall right before you enter in, and then kind of dive it down. A lot of guys go right to the white line. I never really liked it. I liked staying right there in that 2nd and 3rd groove, and I made a lot of passes on the outside, so I like to see Benson doing it. I'm just wondering how much it's actually hurting his tires.
Really tight here for the championship lead. Oh, Reed really leaning on the 50 here, but Manning gonna take the lead from the 81 for P2 on the track. So now Jacob Manning in that $500 slot, kind of fitting for the 5-0. So we'll see if he can hang on to it.
Yeah, that 81, he's been looking impatient since the drop of the green for this restart. He's been really wanting to get by Manning, but Manning's been really defensive and has really held his line. And really made Reed try to go and use a different line to go around him. You see him kind of swapping up lines sometimes. He'll go down to the bottom white line. Reed's trying to play the guessing game back there on where Manning's going to go. And then as soon as he thinks that Reed's going to go, or Manning's going to go to the bottom, he swaps it up and goes to the second line. And then Reed's stuck following him. So he's doing a really great job. But they're closing in on Bailey. And I don't know if Bailey's maybe having a little bit of issues. We've seen him get loose the last couple races, and that's what's been his demise in those races, was getting loose or having contact with other drivers. So hopefully this is not a sign that he's been really good on the short run and he doesn't have the long run.
Yeah, he is right on the bumper of this 88. So Jacob Manning looking to take over the lead in this thing. Seth Reed falling back a little bit. Seth Berger still hanging back there in fourth place. All four of those drivers almost within a half a second of one another. Matthew Robinson having a great run in that 51, rounding out the top five. But I think we're going to have a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, I think Manning's held on long enough where he's probably been sitting back there conserving a little bit. He hasn't been, super defensive with Reed to where he's hurting his tires. He's making Reed try to go around him, so Reed's the one that's hurting his own tires. But Manning's been able to sit there and run his line conservative and not really push his car in places that he doesn't want it to be. And now he's starting to close in on Bailey. And I think we will see a pass here before we see a green flag stop here for the lead. But I'm still watching that 77 to see if he's going to make a move here at some point. We're 21 laps into this run, and he's still kind of hanging out there in fourth. But don't look too far back there. But Kazi's coming up through the field too. He's up to seventh.
Yeah, only 20 laps into this run. They still have plenty of time left on these tires, but still a two-stop race. You can kind of shorten up one of the runs if you want to. So we'll see if someone opts to come down a little early to see if they throw off the strategy of somebody else out there competing for the championship. But, man, this is a very tight battle for the lead right now. Seth Reed heard me say something and quickly got back up to the bumper of the 50. All these guys nose to tail. Seth Berger not gaining any ground just yet, but still not losing any at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Reed's kind of staying off a little bit, trying to cool his tires down or anything. I'm wondering if he felt anything when he was trying to make those moves on Manning, trying to be a little more aggressive than what Manning was doing. And I'm wondering if he's just going to sit back here and ride a little bit now and let his tires cool off and equal out. But we do have a lap car out there in front of Bailey, so we'll see if maybe Manning can use it as a pick or pull some draft off of him or something to try to get by the 88. And I'm still sitting here questioning myself on when Berger's going to make the move.
I think he's going to wait a little bit longer because, like I said, we're about to see those tires really start to set in, see who's been saving them. But right now, he's got a mirror full of Matthew Robinson. Matthew not looking like Nathan De La Rosa's taking it down pit road. He had an incident, but no caution out. But Matthew Robinson, he's looking like he wants to pick up P4 here. This is an important battle. This is a tank racing car going up against a JW racing car. This is the team championship playing out right here.
Yeah, and further back, look, Benson still sitting there. He's up to 8th now, so he's up 2 positions from where he fell back with Manning and him making contact. So I would love to see Benson get back up here to Manning and see what Benson does. Obviously, Manning made contact with Benson. Benson did not bring out a caution, which would have given that EOL to Manning. So if Benson comes up and hits Manning a little too hard, that could definitely give Benson the EOL and take him out of this race and take him out of the championship contention. So he's got to be kind of smooth and slick with it and not really punt him. He's got to kind of do the same thing that Manning did to him and just turn him sideways just a little bit and hope that Manning holds on to it.
And you can see a little bit of damage from that hit by Manning, too, on the right rear. So not sure if that's hindering the handling on that 10 machine. But so far, he's picked up a few spots since falling back to 10th. Yeah, he's up to 7th now.
He's up to 7th, though.
Yeah, so now he's going to have Drew Ballesteros just in front of him in that 54 machine. And then after that, he'll be right back up here in the thick of it. But right now, Matthew Robinson taking a look to the inside of Seth Berger.
And Manning's still stalking Bailey. They've broken away from Reed a little bit more, but he's trying to figure out where Bailey is a little bit worse than he is to try to make up some more ground on him. but he's hovering right there in the spot. I mean, he's stalking him to death right now, trying to find a spot where he can maybe make up some ground. He goes a little lower in this corner. I don't know if that's going to help him on exit speed. Bailey.
Wow, he gets really loose.
Wow. And see, that's what I was talking about Bailey earlier. The last 2 or 3 races, he's gotten so loose mid to late in the run that it's really hindered him being able to go through the field and get back into the championship contention. And unfortunately, he just wasn't able to do it. So I'm wondering if he just maybe needs to take a page out of Berger and Reed's book and change up his strategy next season and maybe conserve a little bit more. He's super fast. He's got the short run
out already on
everyone.
Yeah, he gets on that seam, and that's what really sets these cars up here to spin out.
I don't like that seam at all.
Yeah, it's just the difference in elevation there, and it just makes it real slick, too, almost. And you can see that car. It's not doing it as bad here in 1 and 2, but, man, looks like he's on ice. He's stepping out on him a little bit right there, too. Jacob Manning sees that.
Yeah, he's putting his lefts right on the seam or just below it, and that's dangerous. When you got tires on those seams, whether it's the lefts or right, it just wants the car it's really slick. So I would prefer to be up above it.
he has his hands full with this 88. You can see it each time through 3 and 4. It's just on ice, and you can see it get yawed out there on the entry there.
And he's trying to get by too. He was going to use that lap car.
There he goes.
He woed up just enough to let Bailey get loose and slide up the track.
Side by side for the race lead. Jacob Manning already holding the championship lead, but wants to take the trophy for tonight's race too. The 8850 side by side, but lap traffic right in front of him going to play a difference here. Max Service gets out of the way.
I thought Service was going to stay there and it was going to help Manning, but he moved out.
Manning's got to be careful here, though, to battle the 88 too hard. He's seen that car stepping out. He does not want to get into too long of a battle here with Tristan, just in case something were to happen. But right now, they stay side by side.
Yeah, and I'm surprised with them being side by side that Reed and Robinson and Ballesteros are not closing in as much as I thought they were. And something happened to Berger because he slipped out of the 3rd spot.
Yeah, he was battling with Matthew Robinson, and Matthew Robinson got by. And then Drew Ballesteros gets by. Kyle Benson, Michael Large get by too. Seth Berger is back to P at number 8 now. So he's the 5th place driver out of these final 5.
Yeah, you can tell Bailey he's doing everything possible to stay side by side with a 50. If you can get the cockpit shot of him, I'm sure you'll see his hands on that wheel just moving it all over the place. I can see it through the window net that he is shaking that car all over the place trying to keep it in.
Yeah, you can see him having a turn right there. That's how loose he is. And that's why I'm saying Jacob Manning is playing with fire right now. He's battling side by side this 88 that's just really loose. You can hear it kind of stepping out on him. 50 is going to try and clear him here, though, and he's got him.
Wow, Bailey's all over the place. I mean, that's just a testament to his, driving skill right there, being able to hang on to this car. And we're only 32 laps into it, so he's got a good amount of laps left on the tires for a run. So I don't know if he wants to sit out here any longer, but he's going to have to, and it's not going to be fun for him. He's going to be all over the place as he already is. And it's just going to continue to get worse and worse.
So Jacob Manning, now your race leader. That is going to be a nice payday for the 50 if he remains there. Starting to see a few pit stops take place further on back in the pack. Daniel Keith and Travis Anderson both opting to come down. They're going to have to make that first stop here soon. When do you do it, knowing there's 2 stops left?
They're on 33-lap run right now. If you pitted now, went to 33, you'd be at 84, 85. You'd be within the window to be able to finish it out for sure. I would probably run to about 40. Give your second run, or the second run here, a little bit extra rubber on the tires for a shorter run. I don't know how far they can go, though. If they could go further than 40,
yeah, I'd say
it depends on how many starts going. That's the question, is if guys start peeling off from the top 10 who are championship drivers that Manning's really concerned with. He's not really concerned with anybody else on track besides those other 4. Whoa, Bailey.
Wow, he is loose.
He's hanging on to it.
Man.
He's going to have to pit soon.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to hang on for another 5 laps.
Those tires have got to be red hot for that 88, man. It is white knuckling around this track right now. He's putting others in danger without losing that car. You see him fighting it there on the backstretch too.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with his car. I don't know if it's just his driving style of the way he goes out as soon as the green flag drops. I mean, we saw him get out, a half second to a second over everybody, and then they peeled or reeled him back in, and it took a while for Manning to get by him. But now, I think his tires are just completely used up, and he's going to have to think to short pit a little bit more than everybody else, which is going to put him back to the lead. But then he's going to have to hang on to it again for a long run.
So Kyle Benson, now the third-place driver in the championship standings, currently up to 6th place now on his quest back to the front.
I think he's driving with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah, and now he's got Drew Ballesteros and Matthew Robinson, 2 JW teammates, just in front of him. And he's kind of seeing the C's part in front of him. He's going to go on by Matthew Robinson right there to move him up to P number 5. And now going to try and make a pass on Drew Ballesteros here on the next lap.
Yeah, Robinson's been really respectful of the championship drivers. Every time I see a championship driver come by him, he pretty much moves out of the way and just gives up the position if he sees that they're a little faster than he is. He's not really, slowing them down. He's not really running the preferred line. He's moving up out of the way, so that's a huge respect fact from him to be able to do that. Ballesteros is kind of a little bit different here. He's staying right in and he's making Benson work for it, but Drew's also trying to get that Tier 2 championship, so every point matters for him.
Absolutely. He's got to be pretty confident that that thing is just about all locked up for the 54, so he's likely going to come away with $50 in his pocket here tonight. Ooh, these guys are so close. We're not used to seeing them race this close because, Uncle Netcode, like we said, taking that vacation here in Miami, letting them race here tonight and this week, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, I think Ballesteros gave it to him there.
That's
I think he realized it was Benson, and he was like, I'm not going to ruin your race, and I don't want you to ruin mine, so go on by if you're in that much of a hurry. Woo! Look at him wiggle coming off the corner.
Yeah, and I will admit, being in all the races this week, I've seen a lot of respect from these drivers that are not in the final championship standings, and it's what you want to see when these guys are battling for it all here. You want to see the best racing out there. Get out of the way for them, and they've been doing that all week long. Love to see that, and I think you're right. I think that's just what we saw from the 54. Didn't want to mess up Benson's chance here tonight. Lets the 10 go, cuts him some slack, and the 54 and 10 keep rolling.
I mean, it's beneficial for him to go ahead and let him go and not race hard against him because he's obviously batting for that top tier or tier 2 championship. I mean, that 1 point right there is probably not going to be a big difference for him because he's got it so far out in front of everybody. But I would guess if Larch gets to him, I would guess he lets Larch go since that's another teammate for JW Racing to try to get up here and battle for a championship. Put two JW Racing guys in the top 5 to battle it out. I would expect Ballesteros to probably do the same to him.
Tristan Bailey not giving up yet on this lead. He's hanging in there with Jacob Manning. I know. With the way that car is running, he's making it fast. It's like Days of Thunder. Loose is fast, and he's proven that to be right.
Yeah, they went past the 40 mark, so I don't know how far they're going to stay out here, how long they're going to stay out here, but I would have thought it would have been right around the 40 mark with now, you're going to have to stop one more time, and we're coming up on lap 60 here, so if you can go another 40, that would put you at 100 with a 10-lap run to end. But if they could go another 5 and then do another 45-lap run, they could do it in 1. But I just don't think they could run that far. Or I didn't think they could run that far.
They might be able to because I feel like we would have seen others come down pit road. So maybe it is a one-stop race. Maybe it's a fuel race. Not sure, but we're going to find out one way or another. And I haven't seen any takers come down besides Daniel Keith and Travis Anderson. That was on lap 49. So you would have thought somebody would have come down by now if they couldn't make it.
Yeah, if we see Kazi or Lipicki, some of those guys in the right around the top 10 or within the top 10, if they start peeling off, then I think we'll start seeing some of the leaders maybe peel off too. But if Manning sees Larch, Benson, Reed pull off, I would expect Manning to pull off the next lap.
Only 4 more laps to go before I think you're right, and they can possibly make this a one-stop race. Wonder how much saving was going on under that first and only caution flag of the night, and see if that was a factor in these guys making it. These guys looking like they're both going to go by the pit entrance this time by. I'm sure we'll see everybody do the same, as Tristan Bailey still fighting it back there.
He looks like he is drifting around these corners as he's coming out. Reed's still stalking these guys. He's not that far off of them. He's about a second and a half back, but he's still within striking distance. I'm wondering if somebody like Reed or Berger or Benson will try to let Manning go past pit road and then short pit him by a lap and come back out with fresher tires for that extra lap, because it's a pretty good gain. That's two seconds you can gain for that extra lap that you could be out there on fresh rubber. So if he's only 1.2 seconds back and he pits one lap earlier and gains that 2 seconds, he's looking at a lead of over a half second to where maybe he could hold off Manning from coming back to him.
So taking a look at that speed differential here between the two championship drivers up front, Manning and Reed. Over the last 3 laps, Reed has been the faster driver, and it's been growing by each lap. I haven't seen much of a gain here this lap, remaining around 1.2, but he is gaining nonetheless. So this 81 trying to claw his way back up here. Michael Lurch is now up in the 3rd position. We're seeing pit stops, so this is going to be close.
Gone. Reed's gone. So he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He was going to peel off before Manning did. He let Manning go past, and he peeled off. So I think that's the best strategy for Reed to do that. Ballesteros went as well. Both Tiffany went. I'm surprised Berger didn't go, though.
Benson came down 2 laps ago on lap 62. Totally missed that. He was the first of the championship drivers to come down. So trying that undercut strategy, this is going to be really close. I think this could turn into possibly a fuel strategy race, Curtis.
Yeah, I think, they're right at the 46 mark where they just ran, and Manning ran an extra lap. So he's on 47 as he's coming down pit road right now. Whoa, somebody spinning into... Whoa.
Wow. I'm going to go off on a limb and guess that was a speeding penalty there.
Yeah, I'm going to probably throw some good money on that one, but I can't believe he kept it off the wall there. He was all over the place. But this is going to leave Larch out there for an extra lap. I don't see a problem with it. He was a little further back than these guys. He was sitting right around the 6th or 7th mark before the pit stop started. So that's not a bad strategy to go an extra lap. Make sure you've got enough fuel, because now he knows he can run 47.
Seth Berger coming in too, as Joseph Causey getting every last bit of that pit entry that he can, trying to come away with a good result after a terrible end to his season in both series. So Larch and Berger going to round out the rest of the playoff drivers coming down, and that's going to round out the rest of the green flag pit stops here. So going to be very curious to see if these boys can get to the end.
So he had a really good pit stop or something, because he pit a lap after Benson and came out in front of him.
Yeah, so you got to remember too, Tristan Bailey had a little bit of ground on Kyle Benson as well. They had about a 5-second gap. So Benson did make some big gains there by that 1 lap undercut. So if he can hang on and keep these tires nice and fresh all the way to the end, this 10's back in it.
Yeah, but he cut Manning by 2 seconds, and that's that extra lap. So that's what I was talking about, them short pitting, and Bailey short pit 1 lap before Manning pitted. That's that 2-second gap right there that he's already got on him. So we'll see if Manning reels him back in. Bailey was really fast on the short run. We'll see if maybe he changes up the strategy a little bit, and maybe slows up just a little bit to start this run to where he's not so loose on the back end.
Well, after that round of green flag pit stops, we're going to go ahead, step aside one more time, run a full commercial break this time, and come right back with the conclusion of Season 3 here in SRN. Don't go anywhere.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
All right, back out here in the action, picking up championship leader at the moment, going to be Kyle Benson for Murray Reedy Motorsports. After that undercut strategy playing off so far, Jacob Manning, though, is closing the ground quickly, but maybe it pays off for the 10 here. Maybe he's saving his stuff a little bit. We've seen this work with the 50.
Yeah, I'm also going to really pay attention when that 50 gets to the 10. If the 50 gives him a little more room this time, if he tries to make a pass on him, and then does the 10 really make it really, really hard for the 50 to get by him. I think the 50 was a little impatient last time, and you could see him trying to go different lanes all the time, and I don't know if that was just a frustration from the 50 or if he just missed his corner and overshot it and drove right into the back of the 10. But if the 50 gets past the 10, you might see the 10 maybe overdrive a corner and boot that 50 out of the way.
No, there's no payback in racing. Come on.
Yeah, right. Come on.
No,
I just heard that Dale Jr. download, and his co-star or whatever his name is, Matt or Mike or whatever it is, was trying to tell everybody that Denny Hamlin did not wreck Chastain on purpose at Pocono. And Dale Jr. was like, "Are you kidding me? He wrecked him. He put him right in the wall."
He did.
So
he certainly didn't cut him any slack, that is for sure. But right now, Manning not gaining too much ground. He fell back a little bit there on that last lap, but still, now you can see him start to run that 10 down quickly here out of turn 2. So the 50 going to be trying to make this battle heat up.
got a huge run down the backstretch. He's backing off his corners in 1 and 2 a significant amount compared to everybody else, and it's giving him a giant shot to come out of the corner with just max speed. And you could see it there on the backstretch. He ran him down a lot. And then he dives in a little further in 3 and 4, which closed the gap a little bit more, and he didn't lose as much as he probably would have if they were on older tires. But we'll see if he makes a big run again out of the turn 2 here.
Well, lap 75, that's going to put us at 35 laps to go. Why not go ahead and reveal that Season 4 schedule that we're going to have here in the Xfinity Series? So going to kick it off, as always, at Daytona on October 6th. Gateway there the next week. Yeah, Kansas, Watkins Glen, the new configuration of Atlanta, going back to Richmond. New Hampshire coming on board the schedule here this season. Nashville, and then look at that, Montreal there, a really cool road course coming on board. Charlotte, Talladega, Iowa, Michigan. The Charlotte Roval going to be on February 9th. Phoenix, Texas, Chicagoland, Pocono, and then the cutoff race for the championship going to be Auto Club in Las Vegas, going to be that championship race out at the Strip. Curtis, you're going to be coming back next season for the Xfinity Series. How's the schedule looking for you?
I mean, it looks really good. The one that stands out to me is the one you just mentioned earlier, is Montreal. Another league that I broadcast for on Tuesdays, they added Montreal to their schedule. It's actually a playoff race, and not many have even seen Montreal or been on track Montreal at all, and they're running next gen. So I hope these Xfinity drivers go out and at least really put some laps down in Montreal, because that's a tough track, and IndyCar does really well there. So I'm going to be kind of surprised to see these guys try to run around there, and who can really do what they do all the other road courses, Charlotte Roval and Watkins Glen and Sonoma, some of those ones like that. Montreal is just an oddball one that you never hear of in the NASCAR schedule, so pretty cool to see it on the schedule. I'm going to be looking at a few others on this track as well, or the schedule as well. Kansas is a favorite of mine. New Hampshire being on the schedule, Texas being on the schedule, and I'm kind of surprised with the championship race, Las Vegas of all tracks.
It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited. Yeah, and the first two schedule reveals were, they had rave reviews, and Brandon Domain has taken credit for making some really great schedules next season, and everybody is applauding his schedule. So if you like the schedule here in the Xfinity Series, head over to SpeedRacingNetwork.com. Go ahead and apply for the league and get ready for some Season 4 action. So back out here on the track, this lead's heating up here between Kyle Benson and Jacob Manning. Nothing given so far, and Seth Reed now in the mix.
Yeah, and I'm wondering with that schedule, I see Atlanta on there. I'm going to assume that's the new Atlanta.
Yep.
But, okay. So I was wondering if they would throw the new one out there or not. I've seen a bunch of leagues run it, and I've seen some really good racing, and I've seen some really bad racing. So these guys here are very, very skilled, and we'll see if they can figure out the new Atlanta / mini Super Speedway, and who can really conquer it. But yeah, the battle up front, Reed closed in. He's not closing in like terribly fast. He's just kind of picking them off here a little bit, a tenth or two each lap. But Manning's all over the back of Benson, and this is where he was getting. I feel like he got frustrated last time and just lost his mindset a little bit and just kind of drove it in there and power drive the 10. So we'll see if he slips again or not, or if that was nerves or frustration or what it was. But that 10's looking really good, being able to defend the 50.
Yeah, Benson's doing a great job so far. Now 30 laps to go, and it's going to take the stripe for 29. Those laps are ticking off, and those tires really starting to normalize. It's going to make it harder for Jacob Manning to make the pass. Yeah, it's Travis Anderson right there, lap down car. The guys are having to work their way around there, so Benson and Manning clear him cleanly. We're going to see if Reed gets on by him here quickly and stays with these top two, or if Reed maybe falls back a little bit. Larch is well within striking distance too, and gaining time. He stayed out longer than anybody in that 52. He has the freshest tires out of these championship 5. It's going to heat up here.
Yeah, these four up here are not the four maybe that we expected. I expected to see Berger up here, but he's back in 10th. But Larch, like I said earlier, with him staying out a lot longer than everybody else, he stayed out 2 to 3 laps longer than everybody else, and it's definitely showing with the speed that he's coming up. I mean, look how much he's gaining on Reed, who's got a little bit of trouble getting right by Travis Anderson right now, and he's almost went up the track to him.
Oh, tight moment there as Larch almost gets into the 81 as well. Anderson really going to have to let these guys go. He does. And the 4 championship drivers clear the lap car of Travis Anderson. So it is nose to tail from 2nd to 5th for this championship.
And you know Larch is thinking, I can make it without really any issues. I know I've got enough fuel. I stayed out longer than these guys. The guys out in front of him are the ones that are going to be really having to make sure that they're watching that fuel mileage and make sure that they got enough to finish this race. Especially Benson, who pit 2 laps before Manning did. So that's where, Larch is feeling a lot more comfortable. He's got 3 laps on all 3 of those drivers, and his rubber is really helping right now as he's now going to make a move on Reed. Could you imagine no wins throughout the entire season, and if he comes out and wins this championship race to win the championship, Greg, it's going to get really exciting when we bring him up to the podium.
Hey, I've seen a few people do it, including myself in real life when I was back drag racing when I was a kid. Didn't win a race all season, but, man, consistency kills, and that's what we're seeing with the 52. being super consistent, and it's going to pay off here if it goes all the way the distance here tonight for that 52 of Michael Larch. He is looking really fast, as well as his JW Racing teammates. Jacob Manning right on the bumper of this 10.
Yeah, and this is where like teammates could have came into play. Like
Battle.
Bailey could have let Benson go and battled Manning to slow him up, but
Side by side for the lead here. Kyle Benson's going to get a good run off of turn 2 and clear the 50 down into turn number 3, but Jacob Manning sending it deep in there to 3. He doesn't want to let the nose clear him there, and Benson does clear him, so Benson not giving up as we see 24 laps to go. That hashtag go faster on the scoring pylon for one more time this season. Man.
and Bailey moved down. That was one thing I was talking about with the teamwork. Bailey moved down on that backstretch, and which gave Benson the draft and not Manning, which pulled Benson right past Manning. Now Manning's going to try it again on the inside,
Does
and
Bailey
Bailey
go
stayed
down?
up high.
Yeah, we'll see if Bailey goes down and maybe put some nose on the 50 here, or put some air on the nose of the
He
50,
does.
I should say. Yeah, not giving up, though, in that
He moved
10.
back up. He does.
Benson is not going to give up here. He's going to put some air there. They're going to try and side draft each other. Benson letting out a little early in turn 1. He's going to try an undercut here, but Jacob Manning takes the lead.
And now is where I was talking about watching Benson, see if he comes back in and dives it in a little harder, and if he can get to Manning's bumper and maybe give him a little payback.
So 23 to go, and the 50 will be crowned the champion, and it will be a good night for JW Racing overall if that's the case. Right now they are holding that team championship hostage and threatening to take it here with 22 to go. And Drew Ballesteros, we're going to go ahead and give him that Tier 2 championship now. Brandon Domain down in 11th, Drew up in 5th. So Drew looking like he is going to get $50 in his pocket. A lot of trophies being handed out to JW if this holds up.
Yeah, I mean, second, fourth, fifth, eighth. they've got still 4 guys in the top 10 and 3 of them up in the top 5s, or top 5. So that's a pretty dominant run by a JW Racing team. I'm sure Justin Rideout is ecstatic right now to have all these drivers in the top 8 for him. Top 7 now with Robinson moving up to 7th.
Well, it's
Reed's falling back.
It's always that thing I want to know for team owners. Whose pit box is he on right now? You got 2 teammates now that are leading these points. Jacob Manning out in front for JW. Michael Lart's going to be the second running driver for JW. Who's Justin Rideout in pit box?
I don't know. I would hope he could be in both of them right now, but if I'm Manning, I'm concerned that Larch stayed out longer than him. Whether he's got the fresh rubber or the fuel, Manning's got to really watch that fuel gauge. I think he's going to be close, and Manning's going to be, or Larch is going to be good. So I don't know. Larch fell off there, but Reed, I don't know what's wrong with Reed, but he slipped all the way back to 9th. He's back with Berger now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened at all to that 81. Maybe he burnt his stuff up a little bit too much. I have a hard time believing that, though, considering how he was racing. Didn't look too aggressive. See if Larch gains a little bit this time and doesn't lose too much, though, either. So maybe Larch just playing a little more patience before he really strikes here and makes a run on his teammate here in the 50.
I'm wondering if they're in the same chat together, or if maybe both of them said, you know what, I'm going to go in my own chat, I'm going to have my own spotter or anything like that. So I'm wondering if they're split, if the spotter for Larch is saying Manning is going to be super close on making it, maybe sit back and conserve a little bit just to make sure you got even more to make it to the end.
I mean, maybe that's what Larch is thinking as well. Maybe he's got a little bit of a concern that he can't even make it. Looking like he's not getting into the clutch, though, in the 52 and saving at all. So we'll keep an eye on it and stay on board as he goes into turn 3, see if he maybe clutches it at all.
Yeah, it looks like he's out of the gas a little bit longer than Manning, though. So, I mean, even if he's not clutching it and he stayed out 3 laps longer than Manning, if he's off the gas a little bit longer, he's still saving. It's not going to save as much as he would if he's clutching, but he's not, the less pedal time that he's on the gas, he's still conserving. So if he's any bit of worried then Manning has to be really worried because Larch pitted 3 laps later. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Larch really doesn't have to worry about it. If he doesn't think he can get to Manning and this goes completely green all the way to the end and Manning can make it to the end, then he's not going to be able to get to him. But if he thinks Manning's going to be closer than he is, like if he's realizing that he's close, then Manning has to be short. So all he's got to do is make it to the end if Manning runs out. And that would be a huge newsletter if Manning runs out a lap or 2 short.
Well, I'm hearing from admins, specifically Sean Griffith, that he's hearing that Benson's already clutching it, trying to stretch it out. So I think we have a fuel strategy race on our hands for the championship.
Benson pit 2 laps before Manning did.
Yeah, so I have to imagine that they are all feeling the pressure now to make it to the end, see if they can stretch it out. Jacob Manning now out to a 2.5-second lead over his teammate Michael Larch, who you said has fresher tires, so clearly there's some saving going on.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if Larch is concerned, then Manning should be really concerned because he pit a lap earlier. So I think Larch is in the best position with going an extra lap further than Manning. He obviously he doesn't think he's going to be able to get to Manning and pass him, so he's really counting on Manning running out. And it's not a bad strategy. If you don't think you can get to the guy and pass him, have him run out and try to run out of fuel. Bailey bailing.
Tristan Bailey going down pit road, so that tells you right there that there is some concern as far as fuel goes. The 88 going to play it safe.
1 lap before Manning did.
And we got a yellow flag.
Oh, wow. Does Bailey pit? He needs to be told, don't go into the pit box.
Travis Anderson going to bring out the second caution of the night here. So let's go ahead, cue up that Sparkle and Shine mobile detailing wreck replay one more time. Here we go. 48 all by himself here, riding on that deadly seam that we keep talking about. And it's going to step that car out, and he's going to send it right into the wall.
Right in front of Max Service, too. Big avoidance by Max Service.
Yeah, so that is going to be an EOL for the Travis Anderson machine there. And that's going to be our second caution of the night, and that is going to change everything.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what the rules are for when a caution comes out of when you're on pit road. Normally, it's you go through the pit lane, you don't stop. But Bailey stopped, so I'm wondering if it's you're on pit road and you can stop, or if it's you were supposed to do a drive through and not stop. But he was on pit road, and normally in NASCAR, if you're on pit road before the caution comes out, you can make your stop. You just have to be on pit road.
Well,
so where does he end up? That's what I'm wondering.
Do we see any different strategies here by a few of the guys running in the back? 6th, 7th, 8th. You got Kyle Benson, Seth Reed, Seth Berger out there. Now Causey is going to come down pit road as well. It looks like he's a lap down actually, so he's going to stay out there. But yeah, right now, I wonder if any of these guys that find themselves back in 6th, 7th, or 8th maybe change it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a race to get off pit road, too, between the guys who are battling here. Bailey's going to go back to the lead, so that actually really helped him. We know he's got the short run speed, so this is 12 laps to go. This is well within the window.
Seth Berger's going to win it.
Whoa!
Berger takes the 2-tire stop. Yeah, he took the 2-tire stop that I just mentioned. I figured it'd be one of the guys back there. So Seth Berger going to jump back up. Tristan Bailey's going to be in the lead.
I don't know how much is going to help Berger. That was a 30-lap run on the lefts.
Hey, he was not having a good run regardless. This is what we've seen all week long. Yeah. So why not take the risk? So we're going to see how it pays off for him here once we get everything racked back up. But that's going to give us that opportunity to take one more commercial break here this season. I know it's killing you out there in the chat, but we're going to do it anyway and come right back with the exciting conclusion here of Season 3.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
All right, so we are going back to green flag action with 9 laps to go here. The pace car lights are off. Everybody looking pretty excited out there in the chat. It's going to be a great one here to finish this thing off.
Yeah, and I cannot throw a dart at any of these guys and say one of them has an advantage over the other. The only one I would say might have a little bit of a disadvantage is the 77 taking the 2 tires and being on 30-lap lefts. That's a huge gamble, but like you said, he had no other choice. He was sitting back in 10th.
So the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag back out again here. Seth clearly not getting off to the best start that he wanted here, but that championship battle is nose to tail. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe he made that work on the outside like that and got in front of Manning.
So
I thought Manning was going to follow Bailey all the way through there.
Seth Berger, your championship leader here. But Jacob Manning closely following that Burghardt 77 machine. Michael Larch taking a look to the inside of his teammate here. Oh, they get really close to making contact. Team orders are off, and there's blocking happening right now. Berger going to block Manning all the way to the inside. Manning going to peek to the outside. 77 gets loose, entering turn 1, and the 50 going to take a look to the inside.
The 50's really, or the 77's really loose. Those lefts are not
Larch gets loose!
Larch gets loose.
Benson!
Flip it through the air.
2 of our championship drivers involved, and I'm not sure what just happened.
Larch and Benson.
I saw Larch get loose right there. Benson, big time damage back here.
Yeah, Benson's done.
So let's go ahead and queue up another Sparkle and Shine mobile detailing rec replay. This is a weird one. Yeah, this is a weird one because I was watching this 52. Looked like he got loose on his own. Not sure what happens here. Yeah, it gets loose, but another Seth Reed got loose behind him.
77.
It was like a simultaneous spin there because Reed was getting loose as well. So I'm wondering if the 81 gets the EOL here. And he does. They give Seth Reed the EOL right here.
Oh, wow.
So
that has huge championship implications there because that puts Berger still second or third, maybe fourth.
Yep. So
look at Manning. Or Benson, I mean.
Yeah, Benson gets stuck in the wall, so Benson's night done. The 81's night, you got to imagine, is done here after getting that EOL penalty. Does it save Michael Larch's night? No, he's down in 14th, so all these guys were racing up here towards the front, and now it's just seeming like it's a battle between the 50 and the 77.
Yeah, we're going to be starting nose to tail, too, and the 77 is still on those old tires. I think it helped Berger being able to be up front, but I really don't think the lefts are going to help him here. You could tell how loose he was in that corner. He couldn't get into the gas. He slid up the track, and it pretty much was a chain reaction from there because I think the 52 was trying to stay off the 77 when they went 3 wide off of turn 2 with the 54 on the outside, and it just snapped the car on him. And then Benson, I don't know if he just was trying to avoid or trying to turn off so he could go underneath Berger, and he snapped the loose as well.
So while we're under caution, why don't we bring up that Season 4 schedule reveal one more time since we've got some time to kill here. These cautions starting to pile up like they usually do at the end of season. So Daytona going to kick it off like you're supposed to do it. Then we're going to a really tough track, Gateway, the next week. A lot of off weeks built into this schedule too, which is really nice. I'm pretty sure we only race, one time in December? Oh, wait, no. We're in there December 1st at New Hampshire, but pretty much just one time in December. But Kansas is going to be the third race. Watkins Glen going to be a fun one on my 33rd birthday there.
2-3 week break and come back January 5th for Montreal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of practice time for Montreal.
You say your 15th is your birthday?
November 3rd, so Watkins Glen.
Oh,
might have to show up for that one. Got the whole week off so I can have a lot of time to practice, try to keep up with these guys.
Well, that is the track I'll be missing, so you'll be here for that one then.
Well, then I guess I'll be working on my birthday. Atlanta going to be the week after that. Then another short track there with Richmond. New Hampshire going to be the following week. Going back to Nashville, which is always some fun racing. Montreal, like you just mentioned, there, the kickoff 2023. Charlotte the week after that on January 12th. And then another restrictor plate race there with Talladega, Iowa, Michigan. And the Charlotte Roval is going to kick off the playoffs. So that is one way to start it off there on February 9th. And Phoenix, Texas is going to round out that first round. Chicago, Pocono, and Auto Club are going to be the round of 10 and going to finish it off there in Vegas.
Those last 5 races are awesome. Phoenix, Texas, Chicago, Pocono, Auto Club, and Las Vegas. Those are 5 awesome tracks.
Yeah, I love them. Texas being one of my favorites. Might have to show up for that one, so make sure you're here that day, Curtis. I need to go racing there at Texas. Love it. So starting to see these guys grid back up, and I believe we're going to have ourselves possibly – nope, it's going to be a 3-lap shootout, not a green-white checker.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of time.
I still think Manning's got this.
Well, it comes down to 2 drivers after all 5 of them were up here. It's going to come down to Seth Berger and Jacob Manning.
Question is, do you think we're done having cautions?
I don't know, but it's got to be really comforting for this 50 machine because he knows that Seth Berger's on those 2 tires. So the 50 has better tires. He's ahead of them. 3 laps to go. He's just got to hold on, hope it stays green, and nothing goes wrong here.
Yeah, I think Berger's going to give everything he's got on the restart to try to get to the 50. He's just got to get in front of him and then defend. But if he doesn't get to him, it's the 50 just to lose. I'm wondering what the 54 will do, if he's going to try to go for the win or if he'll try to help his teammate. But I don't know if any of them can get past Bailey on this restart because he gets a great jump every time.
So the pace car goes down pit road, and the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving once again here in Miami.
Bailey again, great jump, 2-3 car length jump. Berger's on the back bumper of Manning. I don't think he can get below him though. Ballesteros had a great jump as well. Moves up in front of his teammate for second.
Yeah, Manning wants to get by his teammate Ballesteros and try to put a car in between him and the 77 here as everybody fanning out on behind him. Drew clears his teammate there, puts Jacob Manning in second and puts that car in between him and Seth Berger. Seth not losing too much ground though yet.
Yeah, I think that was a team move right there. Get in between the 2 drivers, let your teammate go out here and get a championship. Drew's already got the top tier or tier 2 championship wrapped up, so he's given a little space for his teammate to go out here and get the tier 1 championship. JW Racing looking to sweep all the championships right here between team championship, the single championship, and the tier 2 championship.
Oh, we got a crash happening on the track. Not sure if we're going to see a caution come
flag
out or not.
Anderson again.
One more turn to go. The white flag waving here. He takes it. 1 lap settles it here.
Yeah, Berger's not going to be able to get to him. With Ballesteros being in between. Manning going high, though. Whew.
Manning wants
He's
the
gonna
win
lose a
and the
ton of
championship. Yeah, the 50 wants both trophies here tonight, but looking like he's going to settle for second. Just 2 more sets of turns, and this young rookie is going to come into Season 3 and be crowned a champion here, among the best here in the Xfinity Series. One remains at the top, and it's Jacob Manning.
Whoa, crashing across the finish line, too. Back there for about 8th. Looked like the 2 of Zach Duscher got spun as they come across the finish line. They were fanning out as they came off of 4 for 5th through about 11th or 12th. So
Tristan Bailey wins the race, and Jacob Manning wins the championship here. So a lot of hardware to be handed out here tonight. Going to look through the standings really quickly. That last caution kind of shook things up as far as the team championship goes, so we're going to have to wait for a final number. I'm seeing 2 JW cars there at 2nd and 3rd. Obviously a great run for them. Matthew Robinson in 11th, but then you got Seth Berger there, 4th place. Joseph Kazi, Mike Lopicki in 8th and 9th.
I think JW got it.
I think you're right, but it's going to be too close to call for myself, so we're going to wait for those official numbers before we declare an official winner there, but Jacob Manning, your Season 3 champion here in the Xfinity Series, burning it down.
Yeah, both of them. Bailey, he's out here doing donuts on the front stretch, and Manning is doing donuts on the other side of it. Both of them, just burn them down. Don't need them for next week. There is no race, so burn them off.
No more racing here in Season 3. It's kind of crazy to even think about that right now. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up here as far as the whole season goes. We kind of did this yesterday on the fly here. Brought them up in the booth while they're still celebrating. I'm going to do it here again and bring Jacob Manning up here in the booth while he's still burning it down. Jacob, tell me what's going through your head right now, man.
I did it. Andrew, I did it. Mom and Dad, I did it. Let's go.
You're darn right you did it, man. You're the Season 3 champion. Didn't have to get the win, but, man, you look like you had a winning car out there all night. What was going through your head all night? Were you calm, cool, collected, or had a little nerves coming into this one?
I mean, there's a little bit of nervousness with every single one, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm never exactly comfortable. These guys are so good. It's so competitive, and I love it. It's what makes it fun every week. But I guess, yeah, I felt unusually calm coming into a championship race. I mean, with so much on the line. I don't know. I guess the practice paid off. I guess it just helped me have the confidence. I'm not sure, but, oh, this is great.
Yeah, Manning, with the cautions that came out tonight, with the early one that kind of set this up for a 2-stop to the finish, and then we got the caution late that kind of bunched you guys all back up. What was what was going through your mind there when you saw that late caution? You knew you had the 4 tires. Berger was on 2, and then the other 2 championship guys got hit either with a penalty or were involved in the penalties or the caution. So it basically put it on you and Berger, but you knew Berger was on old tires. What was going through your mind there with the caution coming out?
Oh no, like full freak out mode. I was like, all right, well, I mean, where's everyone at? First of all, what do I gotta?
Oh, I think we lost him.
We lost him, yeah. See him still in here. Did you accidentally mute yourself there, Jacob? Or
You got me?
Yep, there you are.
Sorry. Yeah, no, freak out mode is what it was, but Justin helped keep us calm. He gave us the strategy, and I had to trust in it, and it worked somehow.
Hey, careful there. You're in the parking lot, man. Be careful.
Yeah,
he's
I'm doing a little honor. I'm honoring our Dean Gagliano. This one's for him. Driving it through the infield in mid-race, that's for him.
Well, Jacob, before we get to the thank yous, what are your plans for next season? You come in here as a rookie, winning the championship in the Xfinity Series. You're going to try and run it back here in the Xfinity Series once again, or you got other plans elsewhere?
No, I figured I'd let them have one next season. No.
Oh,
no,
man.
I'm coming back.
Wins the championship. Goes cocky.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what I can do. I mean, they're really good. Like I said, it's not going to be easy to do it next season, but I mean, I'm going to give it my best effort, like I always do, like I did this season, and we'll see what I can make of it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations once again. Before we let you go, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to? I know you got a long list here.
Oh, dude, you know, the usual. I feel like it's more redemption for last week because I didn't get to say it last week. But, I mean, everyone, the usual. Don, Deborah, Mom, Dad, Ryan, William, Josephine, Elizabeth, Nessie, Andy. God, everyone who supports, the whole team, Justin, making it such a good experience for me, making it so fun. I mean, I didn't, I don't feel like I've ever had the confidence to be able to come out here and compete like I have this entire season. And in the same way, they're also so very good that I'm not sure that I'm going to win every race. I'm not sure I'm going to finish in the top 10 every race, but I give it my best go, and so do they, which is what makes it so fun. You guys up in the booth, the admins, for putting on an amazing season. It was just so much fun. It was a long journey, but we got here. This is the end, and I cannot wait for next season. I guess I got to get the sponsors too. That's what we're paid for. Rogue Energy, which you can use code JW Racing for 10% off. Saloon Door Sports, Mirror Mechanical, Roof Sport. And again, Justin Rideout, thank you so much for this opportunity. This is amazing.
Well, more good news for you, Jacob. Your JW Racing teammates are being crowned champions, too, in the team championship playoff by 5 points over Tank Racing, coming down to a final score of 107 to 102. After tying last year, the score is settled here in Season 3. JW is an individual team champion as well as a team champion here in the Xfinity Series. And why not give Drew Ballesteros the Tier 2 championship? So great job for you guys all season long, Jacob. But above all, man, congratulations. Super proud of you. I've seen you grow a lot here in this season. Looking forward to seeing what you can do in Season 4.
No, thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much.
All right, so that was Jacob Manning, our champion here, and you could just tell how much it meant to him. And I do want to give Tristan Bailey his time, too. He did win this race, so Tristan, welcome up here to the booth. Didn't want to keep you waiting too long, man. Coming away with a dominating race here tonight at Homestead. I know you didn't have that second round you wanted to get into the final 5, but what's it mean to cap it off like this?
Well, Greg, I wish it had been like this last year, not this year. But, I don't know. I just wish I didn't get turned in Nashville. I think I would have had a shot tonight. It just makes it, a little bit more frustrating when I didn't think I was going to run good tonight. And then I come out and did that. I was like, are you kidding me? Of course, of course. But, I don't know. I was just glad to know I actually had some speed. I didn't think I was going to be fast. In practice, I just couldn't hit laps those guys were hitting. And then qualifying, I hit that lap. I was like, okay, then. Maybe we got a shot. But, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That caution is, I don't know. It just kind of threw everybody for a loop there. And I had to pit for fuel. I wasn't going to make it. So I was down. As soon as I entered pit road, halfway to my box, that caution came out. I'm like, well, this can be very interesting. And yeah, I was hoping, Benson would be able to come back up and get the championship. But, it's my Homestead. It's a little loosey-goosey.
Speaking of loose, before that green flag stopped happening, we were sitting watching you, and your hands were definitely full inside that car. You were all over the place trying to stay out in front of Jacob Manning, and you stuck by his door for a few laps there, and then after he got by, you still were able to stay with him. What was the difference, do you think, on the tires? Were you not conserving at all? Were you going out a little hard? You seemed to be a lot faster than everybody else, especially the short to mid run. And then right around that lap 25 to 30, you could see that rear end really stepping out on you.
I wasn't driving it deep enough like everybody else was. I was burning more of the rears and the fronts getting in the corners, which that's just my driving. That's why I was bad at Chicagoland. My driving style is to try to save the rears as much as possible. Try to save the fronts using more rear brake. But I think I just put a little bit too much rear in it, and it was just burning the rears off faster than the right fronts was. So it was kind of a little sketchy. Yeah, I was sideways a good bit.
Oh yeah, we saw you
A few times.
making us sweat up
It looked
here.
like a drift car.
Well, Tristan, man, go ahead, keep your head up, man. I know you're going to practice hard here in the off season, and we'll see you in season 4. I'm assuming, right?
We'll see.
All right. Well, go ahead, man. Think about it, and we'll see you here regardless, I'm sure, at some time or another. And best of luck, man, in whatever you do. Congrats on the win again here, and have a good night, man.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for broadcasting all season, man. It's always cool to go watch the races I do very well, in.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's good to see it.
one more for you here in the books. So congrats again, and appreciate the kind words, man. See you soon.
No problem. See you soon.
All right, Curtis, we're going to go ahead, cue that music up one more time here this season because it's all done. Season 3 is in the books. You came in here as a newcomer, and you leave here knowing these guys like you've known them your whole life.
Yeah, there's it's going to get interesting for the next season. I'm going to have my eye on a few guys for sure if they return to run another season. Manning and Bailey both sounded like they were going to let a season go or so, and then Manning kind of switched it up on us there. I have a feeling Bailey will be back again. I think this one's going to leave kind of a sour taste in his mouth, and he'll be back to avenge and get this championship in the books. Because I think if he'd have made it without having that bad race to start the playoffs, I think he would have been definitely a driver that was going to contend. And if you go to Homestead and you win the race, obviously he would have been the champion. So I don't think he'll back out. I think he'll still be here for another season to go try to grab that championship again. And I think Murray Reedy Racing, they can really compete again, technically finishing third in the team points, or third or fourth, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm really excited to see some of these guys. I knew a few of them, Bailey being one of them. And now I've got, several that I've definitely interviewed multiple times with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing who can come back and take some more wins away from some guys and who can make it into the playoffs. It's going to be exciting all the way through. And the schedule is definitely making it exciting looking at it. So
yeah, the people seem to be liking it a lot out there in the Discord as well, in the chat. Another great schedule, and it's just going to be another added flair to season 4. So everybody out there, please stay tuned for updates. You can go to speedracingnetwork.com and enter your email in the application and keep up with all the updates. You can join our Discord. They'll get you that information. You can find us on Facebook. Reach out to us here on YouTube. Any of the things, if you're on iRacing, search for us on iRacing with Speed Racing Network, because we're going to be picking up this great action once again in October. So that's going to do it for us here in Season 3. Your champion is going to be Jacob Manning here tonight. So for myself, Curtis Swansworth, Jason Tripp, Sean Griffith, all the admins, all of my broadcast team, I can't thank everybody enough. And my first season doing this full time, it's been a blast. And Curtis, can't thank you enough for coming on board and staying on board, hopefully, for Season 4. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I really appreciate you bringing me in. Whether it was you grabbing me or Pete putting in a good word, whoever it was, I really appreciate it. It's been okay. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed this, half a season. Like I said, getting to know more drivers and being in the booth with you, it was fun. I don't think we really, had any kind of issues with working with each other or anything like that. I think we kind of just jumped in and ran with it. And some people, when they jump in the booth with each other, it's a little bit of a time delay on before you get used to each other. And luckily, I knew you from racing on console, so that might have helped a little bit.
Well, we had a great time, and it was a lot of great action all season long. And it's culminated to this, Jacob Manning being the champion. So I appreciate everybody for stopping by here tonight and watching our race. Please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that little bell so you know exactly when we go live next. So that's going to do it. Season 3 is in the books. Good night, and as always, go faster.